Simpsons Index, an online spreadsheet that is also a podcast. This is the podcast.
Coming to you out of SideQuest Studios, this is the Simpsons Index, episode 224.
Good
Hello out there. I am your host, Elliot Jay O'Neill, and saying good lord here as always, except when he's not his BT Calloway.
Good Lord.
And here as always, except... Wait, what? And also
That's
joining
my
us...
bit. You stole my bit.
I'll kill you!
And here is sometimes it's Danny Rosewell.
Hoi hoi.
Oh my god, no one's coming out of this one alive.
That's all the mustard in the house.
If this
That's what
is
he
the...
says as he wipes the blood off his pants.
With a dry cool wit like that, I could be an action hero.
As weird as it'd be to start a podcast on the 224th episode, yeah, if you don't know what we do, we review Simpsons. We review old and new, but we're running out of those, so we're reviewing new shit for a
Wait,
while.
that's what we do here?
I thought you'd start this one with just a bong pool.
Well, for that to happen, I'd have to own a bong, which,
Unfortunately, no longer is legal in Springfield.
yeah, that's right.
True. We base all our podcasts on what is and isn't legal in
Well, for the temporarily for the time of
Yeah.
recording,
Yeah,
our
yeah.
location is based in Springfield also.
deep.
We
I
are
think.
Springfield. We are the sixth.
Isn't Springfield a place within us all? Part
I
of
think
us all.
the real Springfield
A
is
part of
the
us
friends we
all.
made along the
A
way.
part of us all.
So yeah, we just watched season 31, episode 17, Highway to Well. Well.
Well.
First released in March of 2020, it was directed by Chris Clemens, written by Carol and Omni. In this episode, Marge starts working at a weed dispensary, and she's quite good at it. And Homer starts working as a staged illegal pot dispensary.
Homer makes sure to say that he is a legal dispensary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A completely legal dispensary.
I would say he
staged as
starts-
a
illegal.
seedy, dank
He
dispensary.
starts a themed cafe.
I know.
Hey guys, what'd you think?
I really kind of like this one.
Same.
Like,
Dude, I have hated every piece of marijuana-themed media ever. But this was amazing.
yeah, I like to get it out of the way immediately. Things that stood out to me, for better or worse. This is a marijuana-themed episode that actually seems like the people who wrote it have done marijuana.
Yeah.
Like so many times, it's like treated like LSD or some
It's
wild
not mystifying.
hallucinogen.
It's not
And
like
it's just-
held on a pedestal.
It's not demonized. It's not held upset. It is so real and it's so accurate.
Yeah.
And to cut everything, I love the angle of they set up as Moe's as like a dingy dispensary for like
Yeah.
those old school vibes. My God.
Moe's, it's perfect.
Such a
It's
cool
perfect.
idea. So good. Great
Yeah.
idea. Loved it.
Well, because there is a contingent of people that, you know, do like pot because it's a little bit naughty, you know?
And
Sure.
just who are just used to that thing where you go over to a guy's house.
I would be terrified to walk into like this Apple iMac themed, like, you know?
Like Elliot, I recall you telling a story of walking into your first California dispensary and being like, "So you guys got the goods. I'm Elliot Jay O'Neill," and they're being like, "Of course, we have several goods for you, sir."
Yeah. You're so used to being sus about it. That was funny, though, because it was still in, like, the grey area times where, like, recreational was legal, but you still had to go through the rigmarole of a medical dispensary. And, like, they take your license details and whatever. And so that part of it, like, still seems like a shady, like, operation. You're in this dingy little waiting
Still
room.
handing over your papers. Your
Yeah, to
identification.
someone behind a
And they give you
plexiglass.
a pornographic magazine in a paper bag. You stuff
You
it in your
realize I'm in
trench
the
coat,
wrong
you
dispensary.
run out.
But then, yeah, you walk into the place and well lit and nice upbeat, cool jazz music, and
Yeah, but also for an episode that I was very worried going into, because it starts off well, just very rushed.
yeah.
Like we start with Marge dropping Maggie off at daycare, and then she's like, and the daycare thing is like, here's an advanced thing for classes for children, but don't worry about it, we're moving on. It's like, okay, wait,
Yep,
what the
gone.
fuck just happened?
Oh my god, I totally forgot that was even an
Yeah,
element.
exactly.
And then the
and-
montage of her being bored and doing shit.
Yeah, but the thing is, I like the montage of like, okay, what do I do now? And she starts a spin class, but that's all too intense, and the instructor's like, you bitches better goddamn pedal. And it's like,
Yeah.
I'll take pottery instead. And she's doing pottery, and
Yeah.
the pottery guy's like, you bitches better goddamn pedal. I I'm like, oh, I like this opening. Please don't tank.
It's
And
funny.
it was a
Dude,
good
it's
bit.
like, one is that there were almost no weed jokes.
Mm.
There were
Yeah.
almost no jokes about this guy's so high, bro, blah, blah, blah. None of that. Thank God. I'm sick to death of that shit. But
Yeah.
also, it was tight and well written and funny, and it was full of jokes, and none of it was like lowbrow Cheech and Chong style
Yeah.
stoner humor.
The closest they got to a Cheech and Chong bit was when Marge is all like, do we sell to Cheeches and Chongs?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like-
And it was funny because it was like a recurring.
There was more of a reference to rather than a joke
Yeah,
about. And
yeah.
that's the big difference. And so good.
Well, a lot of it's like, it's a typical Marge getting her preconceived notions challenged a little bit, and where she's got, the old school ideals, and the episode's doing that thing of turning them around by just saying, that's not really the thing anymore.
Yeah.
Classic.
And,
Classic.
Yeah, the joke is more about, those modern things like the overdevelopment of pot production and putting it in
Yeah.
fucking
Yes,
Like, I
hand
seriously.
creams and eye oil.
So I
And,
Obsession
originally was
with
like,
image.
she's got a job at a Genius Bar. Okay.
Right.
yeah,
And then-
exactly.
But then the fact that was the point is what sold me so hard, because for a while,
Yes.
she thinks it's like a Genius Bar, but it's actually going to be this. And it's like, no, that's the point, that they're so dressed up and stylized. It's lost some of that old weed heart to some aficionados.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
absolutely.
I'm even usually when we talk about episodes, we either get better or worse. And I'm getting better on this one.
It's fascinating. It's just a fascinating episode.
Yeah.
Dredrick Tatum was a great choice for like a celebrity.
Yeah.
You wouldn't pick him as being pro or negative, really, but man,
Yeah, there are so many elements with this that felt like they should have fucked up. Like when Dredrick Tatum came in, I was like, okay, this is where
it's
they're going to fuck it up.
Jijic.
This is where they're going to fuck it up. And I was like, no, this actually got better.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, because unlike a lot of modern Dredrick Tatum appearances, they weren't just going for cheap Mike Tyson jokes. It was
Yeah.
more, this is the exact kind of celebrity that
Yeah.
would do like a co-pot endorsement now. And they like demonstrated it in his party scene where they like hid a lot of celebrities who do have endorsements and dispensaries and stuff
Like Harrison Ford.
Harrison
Kevin Smith.
Ford, Kevin Smith, who was in this episode.
Yeah, I
very
said that was
briefly.
his. Yeah, of course it was. I even like Homer's excuse of how'd you get in this party. I said I was Kevin Smith's dad. And
No one
argued.
questioned. Yep. And then Kevin Smith was, yep. That was
Yeah.
great. Set up punchline.
Which is weird because Kevin Smith's dad died a long time ago. Like,
All right.
I don't
Yeah, but
know.
have you seen the guy,
Have I seen Kevin Smith's dad?
lately?
Well, no, that's
The point.
Have you seen him in the room at the same time as Homer?
I did in this episode. Oh
Yeah,
wait,
people
Kevin
out
Smith
there,
or
if
his
you're
dad?
seeing
Anyway.
Homer in the room, please call help.
So Danny, yeah, what did stand out to you for better or worse?
Hands down, this is the best episode I've seen from them in years.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Okay, I really liked Homer's dealership, and I
Yeah.
really liked that it sort of addresses this niche in the market of like, first off, of nostalgia, of wanting that
For the
excitement and
dank
the
eras.
thrill.
Yeah.
Like doing drugs for the thrill is understandable. You know, drinking just for medicating yourself is considered unhealthy drinking. Drinking for the thrill is sort of why people drink, right?
Yeah.
And that's absolutely a strong point about recreation or like selling.
Yeah, and also just it not being a commodity.
Yeah.
Because Tatum's whole business is, again, it's like a Genius Bar. It's while it's nice that it's clean, it's also, this is a very corporate structure.
Now you're
Yeah.
not doing it for the thrill of doing
Yeah,
it. Now
and
you're
the-
just part of a scene.
and the loss of the sense of rebellion. Yeah.
Wow. And that really stood out to me. And then, like, holy shit, man, his setup of the dealership
man.
with the
Lenny
silent dude
in a
playing
hoodie.
bass in the fucking, oh my God.
Lenny in a hoodie playing an N64 controller.
on a beanbag.
And also playing an unplugged bass.
Unplugged bass.
It's just what a detail.
Like, wow.
Like,
all of
Oh,
Elliot's 20s.
don't put the money in my hands. Just pop it there in the fucking Mindy's box or whatever.
yep.
Oh, shit. That was amazing.
And then the whole joke of how they get them is not on dispensing weed, but dispensing snacks that they're not licensed for. It's just so good. I love that bit.
Yeah, I thought it could have been a little bit tighter with Marge, like literally making him do it. Like, I wish it was from another external force, but yeah, I did like how that scene played
concept
out.
alone, I was sold on that.
It's just everyone with the
this
munchies
Law and
looking
Order
at him.
Sting thing with them desperate for him to make that one little mistake.
Because if you've ever been in any aspect of business management or ownership, the number of times you're like, I'd love to do this thing, but that requires an entire other license. Even in Australia, you'd be like, I'd love to run a raffle for my customers, but that requires literally a gambling license or something like that.
Yeah.
And the idea that regulation is getting them on snacks rather than the drugs is brilliant.
You can pay a $25 fine.
Yeah, the fact that the stakes are so low as well. And the fact that Homer isn't a dipshit in this one. Like, Marge, okay, eventually the conflict is, Marge is doing well at this prestigious place, but they're all like, Dredrick Tatum's like, it's come to our attention that your husband's been dealing in this kind of shady environment that that doesn't reflect well on us.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, he'll fold the second I ask. And he's like, well, we're doing the same thing. You're just wearing
he's not wrong.
you're wearing a lab coat.
anyway.
But even then,
And
at
then
the
she
very end,
fucking sells him out anyway.
but that's the thing. At the very end, when Homer's like, "No, I understand. You had a thing that made you feel special, and I was just goofing around." I realized, and, oh man, it's
they
so
have
good.
such a tender moment. Hey, Elliot,
Just getting high as shit,
where was the heart in this episode?
just to cut all over the place. Cause
That fucking
Why
cuddle
not?
at the end while she was still buzzing.
Yeah.
And he
Oh,
was
the
like
fact that-
dealing with it and like,
that she's high
help.
as shit, and he's like,
Oh
"Oh,
my God.
sweetie, you'll be okay in 2 hours."
let me change my answer. What's the moment that stood out to you for better or worse? The anxiety of her tripping out and
Yeah.
the panic, the fucking bad trip, and like
How
from
do I
her
walk?
perspective, and
Oh,
my
man.
God,
Oh,
all
God.
of that. Like from her shot and the room moving and the whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
The quotes of it: "Is this how I always walk? What do I do with my arms?"
What do I do with my arms?
Again, what it's like to be on drugs.
I assume.
I assume.
I've heard.
And so there's a bit where like Homer's all like, Marge, who's so good at dispensing weed, she's never done it. Never does a spit take, but with weed as smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're all, oh, it's great. That was great.
Fantastic. Elliot, what stood out to you? Sorry.
Oh my goodness. Just back on like the low high stakes of this, like the low stakes, but everyone's taking it super seriously.
Yeah.
I think this is a joke I'd hate in a worse episode, but just the kids looking over, it's like, what's happening here? I think they're in a drug war.
Yeah, because they're arguing, but again, they both have valid points.
Yeah.
And it's not meant to be traumatic to the kids as a joke, which is nice. And oh man, primo. I love this shit. It was good.
Yeah, fucking hell. Yeah, I don't really have a moment just single because I think this is such a good ride. And that's the other thing that surprised me about this. Like, the dispensary wasn't like just one fragmented bit in an otherwise chaotic episode.
Yeah.
Yes, this was such a coherent script.
We had a first minute fuck you because, I was reminded, that whole Maggie baby whatever
It
school
was
thing.
dropped quickly, or it segued.
It did get a reprise right at the end.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
Yeah.
it was just there to set up that Marge has more time and she wants to do something.
Yeah.
Like, fair enough, whatever.
I mean, okay, well, it's still a while till we rank this thing. I feel like part of what's going to make it difficult is the sense that I kept expecting this to fuck up.
Yeah.
And it didn't. And that alone is amazing. But that said, I don't think I have any down arrows on this one. Even when the Dredrick Tatum's house catches fire and all the firefighters are high later, and it doesn't call attention to it, it's just funny.
Yeah, they're just, like, listfully doing the hose, just fires long put out, but
kind of cuddling.
yeah. Cuddling over the hose
And even
like good
the
fun. and
sentence, "I'm serenaded out of my gourd."
shit. Yeah. So, wackiness. Was this a particularly wacky episode?
Not really. Like,
No,
it's
for
all
an
pretty
episode about drugs and what is essentially low hanging fruit humor,
yeah.
it was a really grounded episode, I would say,
And so I just saw
and
it
still tightly written and funny. It was still
But again-
joke packed.
accurate to weed life. Like, I just read the note and I so heavily agree of like, it smells like a damp wetsuit in here. And then when Otto buys the weed off of Homer's like intentionally dank dispensary, is like, it's all just stems and seed. I love you, man. God, like, it's so grounded for something that's so out of character. But,
Yeah.
oh man,
Like-
bravo.
That's a funny weed joke
This was
without
Omni,
being
yeah.
low hanging fruit, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Otto's voice in this was garbage. Like, I mean, yeah, sure, he's got to be 30 years old now, but it sounds like someone who's forgotten what this voice sounded like.
A little bit.
No,
Like
definitely.
he's come back from like
He's
6
kind of
months.
swinging at it and going
Well,
wide
like,
on both
he's
ways.
come back from 6 months vacation. He
Yeah.
doesn't quite
Yeah.
remember it.
Well, that's kind of the vibe I got from Otto in this one as well, because here is this character locked in time of the idea of the early 90s, late 80s stoner.
Yeah, the weed in the back alley kind of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, like Mudge, this whole world has like caught up to him, and like something he's not aware
Yeah, that
about.
moment where he stumbles into the Apple store was incredible. I really empathized with that.
Yeah, he's like, I'd like to buy some weed.
Yeah.
And I was like, well,
yeah.
what kind of high are you looking for? Are you looking for the body high or the what we saw the
Man,
cognitive
that poor
high?
fucker. Like, weed aside, I know that anxiety in so many ways. I could have stumbled into a Subway and had that same anxiety.
Yeah.
Hey, can I have a sandwich?
Yeah, you're just like, I want a sandwich. Like, okay, rye grain or whole grain or meal. We have gluten-free overloaf. And would you like vegetarian pasta? Like,
Here's
what the fuck?
75 different toppings. Choose 43 of them.
But only 43, 44 will cost you extra. And so will 42.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
What kind of cheese filling you want in that?
So I've forgotten what we're talking about entirely. It's just anxiety now.
But that was my moment actually of when I thought this episode might fuck up, because Otto sounded a bit weird. It was like clearly the meshing of the two worlds in The Simpsons, because that's kind of what you have to take The Simpsons on.
Yeah.
That
He
right
sort of-
now it exists in a world where weed is like legal in some areas.
Yeah. And he sort of is the face of the low-hanging fruit stoner joke.
Oh,
you
no.
know?
Oh, yeah.
Some-
As is Cletus to the meth joke.
Yeah, exactly. Woof.
And the fact
Unfortunately,
they didn't do that.
Yeah.
They didn't do a Cletus meth joke. Yeah, but listen.
I'm starting up a meth clinic.
But that's still illegal. Well, not till Lex Joe Biden's, that kind of bullshit. Thank fuck. Oh, I just want to hug this episode.
Yeah, what will we change? Just like, how are we going to fuck up this episode?
I want to get high with this episode.
I want to find out who wrote this episode.
This is,
Carolyn Omni.
Yeah.
So we can agree not like particularly wacky, especially given the subject, and like, we reviewed the Homer Does Weed episode a long time
Long
ago, and
ago.
that showed way
That's
less
great,
restraint
man.
than this. But
Yeah.
as much as
But
we
that
loved
was,
it,
to be fair to that episode, that's also when weed was on the edges, and it was only medicinal, and that's how Homer was getting it. Whereas this is, it's legal in Oregon, not where the Simpsons are, wink. And this is just reflective of that, and that's what's killing me. It's reflective of the time and accurate.
Yeah.
They never get that
it's
right.
amazing.
no, absolutely. And the heart, we agree there was a bit of heart in there, surprisingly.
Yeah,
that
it was
Homer
surprisingly touching.
wasn't wrong. Like he was coming, but
Yeah.
even at the end, did realize he wasn't fully understanding Marge's perspective. It was like,
yeah, and there's such
wow.
a tender moment
Yeah.
with them.
oh man, like whether you're holding her hair back when she's puking or you're
Right.
calming her down when she's having a bad trip, that is love, man.
Beautiful, man. It was
Yeah.
really nice.
Oh, and he goes, I'm going to join you on this ride, and goes to light the vape on fire. That is so fucking funny.
Oh, dude, it's such a classic Mr. Magoo moment.
Like, at
but
this
that
po-
is Homer.
At
you
this
know?
point, they've earned it.
yeah,
Like I was the same.
yeah.
Like
they've
really,
held it
but
through the whole episode. Fine, you can have your wacky.
you can
shtick.
have your Homer.
And that's where the wacky is, by the way.
But to me, that
Suddenly
makes total sense, because like he has been selling this old idea of the
Yeah,
stoner.
yeah.
Why does he need to know what the current technology
Boomers
is?
Yeah.
don't know what a
yeah.
vape is.
But
Yeah.
but what I mean, lighting one cigarette and suddenly the house explodes and
Yeah.
that's the wacky shit. It's the
That's
Michael
the
Bay
wacky
wacky.
shit, yeah.
True.
Michael Bay wacky.
Everything catches fire because Homer tried to light a vape.
Yeah,
But by then, I'm forgiving of it. It's fine.
absolutely.
It gets us back to zero,
But ultimately, did it feel like an episode of The Simpsons?
It
Are these the
really
characters we
did,
know
man.
and love?
I think so.
Yeah, the fact that Marge is such a sweetheart about selling people weed while never having done it is very in character. The fact that Homer is like, no, the real deal is like feeling a little bit uncomfortable and awkward when you buy it. It's Simpsons, but not as we know it, but as we know it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
New ground, but with a new liquor paint. And
It's the thing that's legal and normal and perfectly fine, but neither of you should ever do, especially you, Bart.
which is literally pulled
fuck,
from
that
the
is such a good
Oh my
line.
God.
well, it's literally from the Homer marijuana episode where he's like,
Oh, yeah, which you should never
never
use.
use.
Never
Let
use,
Daddy see
especially
amazing
you.
things which you will never see.
Yeah.
But at the same way, it's the exact idea between a lot of the boomer generation on legalized marijuana. Oh, it's great and fantastic for people with medical conditions. Don't you ever use it, Timmy?
Yeah.
Oh, man. And speaking of the older generation, Agnes on weed.
Oh, man.
Wow, she was adorable. Also, basically, she was suddenly a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
I would say that was another almost a wacky part. Right?
Almost leaning too hard, but the fact that she's just holding Seymour's arm and is like, this guy runs a whole school. It's
it was so cute.
It's that moment of drugs where you're like, everything is significant.
Yeah.
Why did no one tell me?
And she was just enraptured, and it was so earnest.
And the fact it was brief as well. It wasn't the plot point. It was just a bit in passing, and
Very charming.
I have no complaints. This is shocking.
Well, no episode is perfect, so we must ask, what would you like to change, PT?
Like I said, I have no down arrows. I think the ending is a bit too wacky for everything else we got. That the one e-cigarette Homer tries to light is what burns down Dredrick Tatum's entire mansion.
Yep. A little too wacky for me.
A little bit too much. But that said, I think that is my only gripe with this episode. Everything else was pretty funny. It is a little joke light, but it was more the central joke is the point that weed dispensaries, because it's legal, can be corporate and polished rather than real and something you vibe with, and that's the central joke of it all. And the setup Homer and Mo have is hilarious. It's not it's not quotable joke, but it's more watch this and you get the joke kind of thing.
No, absolutely.
Loved it.
Danny?
On much the same page, I think I would bring down Dredrick in a different way. I don't like the little Mr. Magoo shtick. I think that because the episode as a whole was too highbrow for that, it was too and it was so well written and concept and blah, blah, blah. This was taking a quick, easy out. Other than that, when Marge and Homer were arguing and they were like, oh, this must be a drug war, I think they really over-animated Homer to take advantage of having someone in the background moving around a whole bunch, and he's wacky shtick. We don't just want to see two people standing there talking.
No, it's really a thing that since the 30s, Simpsons have Disney-fied some of their movements, and they are doing that rubberiness that they once avoided. Like when Marge was like, oh, this would make me the happiest to be the face of this product. Like, she was moving like...
as much as possible.
Yeah.
You use those frame rates.
Was missing some of that Simpsons static.
Well, it didn't need all that shit, It felt like I was watching Homer wriggle around and really animatedly wave his fists at Marge right in front of him just for something to look at.
Yeah. And the shot's already interesting enough. How we got Bart in the foreground in the shadows looking through on them in lighter. Like,
there were
that
a
was
bunch
an interesting shot.
angles and shots in this one. I was really happy with the directing and the camera work in that. Camera work is the wrong word, I guess.
No, it's still a theoretical camera.
Yeah.
It's like in Super Mario 64. Lokito's always there. He's always watching.
Yeah.
Beautiful, man.
Especially when you pee. Done everything himself because he can float. But all right, dude, I'll just do all the
he
struggle.
could have taken the ring straight to Mordor.
Yeah.
You really let us down, guy. You really let us down.
I mean, to be entirely fair, if the Eagles had picked up the ring, they probably would have put it on, which would have made them a new Dark Overlord of the Middle Earth. Sorry, there is theory behind this, and I will fight most people.
That's a lot of people. That's about 4.5 billion people right now, isn't it?
Bring it, cunts.
Anyway, do you guys have any last notes?
I do.
Oh, what about what I'd change?
Oh, shit. What would you change, Elliot?
Man.
Wait. Bro, what would you change, man? What would you change, man?
Dude, if you were this was like the Elliot show.
No, shut up. What would you change, man?
I think we're on the same wavelengths, just like different platitudes.
Yeah,
dude,
man.
dude, just jam it, go.
Whoa.
Much like the writer of this episode, we clearly know how pot works. The whole point that you made before about kind of waiting for this episode to fuck up, that's sort of the thing. It's like, I am almost tempted to go, here's how they could have fucked up this episode.
Oh, yeah, so
that
easy.
is my note. All my rewrites are, this is how you didn't fuck up. Well done.
Yeah, bravo.
Like, Marge getting the whole reveal of the pot was a little boilerplate for me. Like, because, she's working at the store before she knows what it is. That's so derivative of the erotic cake store.
But the fact they didn't dwell on it is what saves it.
Yeah, kind of like the Maggie thing. It just moves us to get to the real meat and potatoes of the story where the better jokes are.
I really like that scene where she's like, oh, I expect you to make some shit about about this? You really don't give a fuck. And Homer's like, yeah, man, whatever. No, my voice is kind of like Marge's right now. Who gives a shit?
Julie Kavner, if you'd like to retire, we've got a perfect replacement in the waiting in the wings.
Yeah. And then Bart's like, yeah, babe, go back to work. Sell some fucking weed and shit. Yeah.
Yep.
Danny Rosewell's Simpsons is just a woo. Is a rush to the head.
All right. But my point was that scene was really like, it was almost, you know what, the unexpected punch, because like I was waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah.
And she was waiting for the other shoe to drop, and that it wasn't a big deal was a huge like normalizing moment for in the Simpsons canon, I think.
Yeah. I mean, she took a stand, and like maybe the dinner scene with the family didn't need to happen again for them to just go, what? Who cares?
Yeah.
But it sort of, I think, was a good surrogate for like the audience to just be like,
I feel like that
I
dinner
think
scene,
it was a powerful moment.
it brought Marge back into it, because they're all like, she's like, oh, you know, she quit when she found out they sold weed, and then is just like, oh, today I found out Dreaded Kratom selling weed, and Lisa's like, yeah, it's legal, whatever.
Yep. Who gives a flying fuck is, I'm pretty sure, her words.
Yeah, I mean, I wish
except when her voice was a lot higher when she said it.
No, that was Homer.
Oh, right.
yeah,
I don't give a flying fuck.
That was Bart.
Sorry, bitch.
no, fuck it, it doesn't matter.
I'm sorry, Elliot.
No, I was going to throw to a Bill Hicks bit where they're all just like, you know, if you're in a bar and someone's fighting, are they drunk or are they high?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's because they're drunk. Anyone high is like, hey, buddy, hey, what? You ever seen your hands? They're beautiful.
Yeah.
I think that's the other fun thing that this episode does is kind of, shine a light on alcohol and bar culture and like the
For
grossness of that in comparison, especially
The one
most...
drunk person you see in this episode is the one downer of the whole episode, right?
Yeah.
And Mo like reminiscing on it. You never see someone know the joy of barfing in while they're on a toilet in their underwear.
Yeah.
Sitting on a toilet, barfing in their underwear.
Sitting on a toilet, barfing in your... Shitting on a toilet,
mean-
barfing in your underwear is, I'm pretty sure, what he said.
Yeah. There's a certain... I mean, I work with some younger fools these days.
Life
And
truths, man.
I found out they go to tracks to get wasted. Like, I went to tracks to get wasted once upon a time. You
Aw.
kids. It's nice to know you're still getting fucked up in the same seedy as bullshit joint.
Is that epic?
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
Epic Tracks.
yeah.
Sponsor us, you cunts.
Shout out, you cunts.
You filthy goddamn dive bar for idiots.
Yeah.
Hashtag blessed.
I threw up in your alleyway.
Do you want to be in a location that looks worse than how you feel right now?
Tracks.
No matter how low your depression,
No, I was
they'll
like-
go lower.
I was just quietly stoked. Oh, wow, that's still a thing. That's nice.
Yeah. Huh? Yeah, there's still a little magic in this world.
Yeah,
Like
beautiful.
Magic Kebab. Go now in Hornsby.
Magic
again.
kebab.
Only if you're drunk as shit.
Yeah.
Because they're only open between like 11 p.m. and 3 a.m.
Tracks. What do you want to regret tomorrow?
Tracks. Shut the fuck up.
So yes or no? Would you want to watch this one again?
Absolutely, no question.
Honestly, I want to watch it again soon, like tomorrow, because
like
I'm
this one-
floating between ranks and I don't know where my heart... My heart is not where my brain is. you
Oh,
know?
I've picked.
Oh, right. No question.
But episodes we want to watch again, we like to think about what playlist they would go in. What are some other episodes that would pair nicely this them?
Marge getting fucked up. So way back in season 1 when they go to
Season
picnic, the one, even though it doesn't go well for her, the one where she and Homer start getting tanked together. It's a
Erotic
shit
cakes,
episode
erotic
and I hate
cakes.
it, but you know.
Erotic cakes.
Yep, that's a good one.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
good modern episode
Marge working, yeah. Put it with her working at the nuclear plant, working
Yeah.
with the erotic cakes.
too. Yeah, Marge Jobs playlist, and
Yeah.
it's technically a Homer Jobs.
Yeah, Homer
Yes.
weed. Yeah.
Actually, it goes with the nuclear power plant because that's Homer and Marge having like the same job at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
dude. Also, there's like a Homer Marge bone scene in the nuclear power plant
We
we could do the
implied
one
they leave.
where he
before that.
carries her out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Won't
yeah.
be back for 10 minutes.
Again,
Yeah.
another season 1 episode. Yeah. All
An
right.
officer and a gentleman moment.
Guest stars of the episode.
Yeah, who
so,
played Lauren?
Kevin Smith. No, that was
Harley Quinn Smith.
yeah.
Chelsea Peretti.
That was Chelsea Peretti.
All right.
Yeah, Gina from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
And a national treasure, but not
Absolutely.
from our nation.
Jordan Peele's wife.
Yeah, I know.
Really?
Yeah.
I know that because I so hardcore want to go to a dinner party at their house. It'd be so much fun. I presume.
Dude, it turned into a horror movie.
Fucking yeah.
Just
Oh,
like,
shit. That's
just like lucky both of them.
Yeah. That
sounds
A good
amazing.
time. Yeah.
Dude, Key and Peele
Yeah.
and Peretti.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And yet, at the
just
same
Peele,
time,
not Key.
I get it. Well, you never know.
Maybe,
you never
yeah.
know.
Those Hollywood types.
That's it, man. It's the noughties. It's
They gotta-
1990 now. Anything goes.
Get a couple of vape pens in you or
anything could happen. Man.
chicken pot pie.
Oh, God.
And playing Desmond was Billy Porter. Hey, I know you sort of guy.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I got.
Yeah. All right. It is time for our final notes.
Now it's time, and now it's time for
his
our
final note.
final notes, dude.
Dun, tick, tick, dun, tick. Everyone's final notes.
No,
Dun,
just
tick,
chill.
dun,
Why do we
tick,
jam
dun,
this in
tick,
your ears?
dun,
It's all
tick.
good. Whatever you feel like talking about, man. It's all right. Dude, what do you want to talk about? Yeah,
Dave's not here, man.
cool. Just the sound of your mouth opening is like Nirvana. I take that back. It's fuck awful. No offense to you in particular. But if those of you have listened
Fucking
to,
gross.
those of you who have listened to It Came From the Bottom of the Ocean, but also from space, a lot of those creature sounds is just me in a microphone going. Yeah, just mouths are disgusting.
Oh, goodbye, downloads.
It's too late, man. They've downloaded by the time they find that out.
Danny, did you have any final notes?
He didn't write it. Shit.
No, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm processing.
All right. Well, BT, quickfire note challenge.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh, we
let's
want to
do
do this
it.
back and forth, fucking Goodman Salt style.
Yeah.
Sex prize. I quite like this. You know, the idea that that's something a magazine advice would advise Marge to do. And I go
absolutely.
for it, and it doesn't work. I kind of like the whole back and forth flow on that. It was funny.
Didn't like the tag with way to blow it, Larry.
Blow it, Gary.
Yeah. But the
Way
rest
to blow
of
it,
it was
Barry.
Yep.
Way to blow it, Harry. There's a whole Horton section out there.
When I was feeling pain in my punching hands and my blocking face.
Yeah,
Blocking
the blocking phase.
Oh. I gotta say, it's a good way to write him in the story like that. Like a lot of
Wonderful.
ex-athletes
He's one of
do
those
it.
elements I assumed would fuck this up, and it didn't. Yeah. I have the line here in just quotations stoked, and I don't remember why.
Marge was like, and they were cool, which made me stoked. Like she's still getting her head around.
She's
the
going
lingo.
through the thesaurus of urban
No,
slang.
that's it.
I liked when Marge rejects the job and Dredrick Tatum was like, "Oh, is there any drug for hurt feelings?" "Oh, yes, there is."
Yes.
Straight to the pot
Yes.
lollipops with
Yep.
little wee.
Hurt feelings written on it.
Yeah.
Otto giving up on the Genius Bar, and it's like, yeah, I'll take a beer. And it's just like, yeah, pot used to be scuzzy. I'm like, yeah, scuzzy.
Scuzzy.
Scuzzy is
That's
good.
a 90s word.
Yeah.
I liked the Krusty commercial where he was like, "Hey, stoners, wink, wink."
Oh my God.
Aren't
it
you in the
was
mood
so
for a
good.
deep fried rib wedge with donut buns and just a giant stack of spaghetti and
Oh, that's right. 'cause
sandwich?
I was like literally looking at Elliot because that is like very indicative of Elliot's stoner cooking,
Oh,
which
man.
was
And
so
like
good. Oh.
mainstream McDonald's-y branded
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Trying the 420 celebration culture, you know?
For real. Yeah,
Yeah.
when Hungry Jacks dye their Whopper green or whatever.
Yeah. Fuck off.
That's been my main argument against legalization. Is then you'll have Winfield Green.
Oh
on
man,
the
but
side.
Sideshow Mel dancing in the background
man.
while the monkey was in the
Yeah,
egg
very
chair. and-
psychedelic. Fucking dope.
amazing. And it
Real
kind of keeps
hungry
going
for
behind the.
There's a bit where they're
Just
showing
keeps
like
dancing.
they're showing Marge footage of like Homer's dispensary, and there's a bit
Yeah.
where she's like, "That's our good frisbee." That got me good.
There are so many details in this
Oh,
little
man.
dang
Yeah,
den.
the
that-
The fact they
This
don't
episode
call
is
attention to
dense.
them
Yeah,
is
yeah.
what I love. They
Yes.
don't grind to a halt and be like, point.
Yes.
Look, Lenny's in a corner and his bass isn't plugged in. No,
Yeah.
there is
Restraint. Holy shit. Carol and Omni just, goddamn.
Bravo.
there's
Absolutely.
something so like
Hats off.
I guess because I'm around the sound of an unplugged bass so much that like, but I also know the vibe of a room where someone is just playing a bass in a corner. But Usually it's me. Anyway.
All right, hit me with some fire notes. I got to rank this thing while it's hot. I got to strike while this rank is hot.
Yeah, I need to pee as well. They come back into the scene and Dredrick Tatum is spraying the pot plant with CBD mist.
Of course he is. Of course he is.
Ham has a line of, I sell pot, that's why I'm dressed like a cool toddler.
yes.
Oh my God, Jesse Pinkman did look like a cool toddler.
Right.
Bitch.
Unmarked van rental.
Yeah, that as well.
Oh God.
Almost as good as Flowers by Irene, but damn, it's close.
Oh yeah, empty your hash register. Yep.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
When they bust them all for eating Cheetos, they put someone's fingers all in like evidence bags.
Little evidence bags.
Yeah, that got me.
When Marge gets high, I feel like I'm on an elevator that's going up and down.
My next note is her being like, weed's fine. I can start anytime I want.
I can start anytime I want.
Oh, I really popped for that line. Fuck. Yeah, just the details of the actors and celebrities in the background, like Sarah Silverman.
There were so many.
Willie Nelson, Matt McConaughey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was great. Oh, he said, all wrong, all wrong, all wrong.
That was a bit thick for me. But
Yeah.
the concept, sure, but the execution.
Right. I think if he said it a bit faster, it's just because it was
just a little bit too slow.
Yeah,
He should have been running, yelling, all wrong, all wrong, all wrong.
Yeah, it's just pacing. It's
Well,
just
I like
pacing
that high
issue.
school girls, man. They're stoned as shit in some weight.
Wow.
I don't know. Someone else write a good McConaughey bit. It's not going to get better than Jim Carrey. Like, these boogers, my fingers.
Was that all your notes?
Yes, it was all my notes.
And my final note is, those pot dispensaries were playing for Maggie's daycare. Now where will she learn Mandarin and she sucks and there's Mandarin subtitles? I actually kind of like that
I like
joke.
it as well. I had it down as a thing. And the fact, I mean, it's a long time since the fuck you intro. It does bring it back.
Yeah.
And again, it is just the tiniest bit to bring that back to zero.
Absolutely.
And that's fine.
I actually can't. I didn't think about it until that moment, and it's like, fuck, another point in this episode's favor.
Actually
It's
remembers.
time to rank this thing. On the Simpsons Index, we rank using our 6-point scale, which starts down the bottom at failure. Maybe if the episode was just, just whatever. You give it participant. But for the positive rankings, you got okay, bronze, good silver, excellent gold. But for the best of the very best, the ones that the Simpsons could not exist without, you give cubic zirconia. I'm going to go first. Let me show you how it's done. Fucking gold. Like, man, cubic's kind of tempting with it. But
I am absolutely giving it a cubic. You just take your time.
Take another
What?
puff, dude.
Oh, I'm so ready, man.
He's chained, but he's ready.
Yeah.
Go.
Dude, no question this is a cubic, man. This is
Really?
the best thing.
Wow.
In 10 years, it's done. In 15 years, it's the best thing it's done. Like, I mean, there have been decent episodes, but it's so tight. It's so well directed. It's so clever. It's so high concept. It's not looking down at its audience. It's not taking any like cheap shots. It's not
The restraint on this one.
yeah, it's taking a hot topic and normalizing instead of pointing an extra finger at it. None of its jokes are spelled out to the audience. So much background humor that doesn't feel like they're crowding gags in. Witty, funny, blah 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 blah. All of it. All the camera angles, the music, the shots, the costumes. Everything is a 10 out of 10.
I will say music is still like The Simpsons are lacking in this
It's-
department.
Sure,
Yeah.
I agree.
But it's not the episode's fault.
The last time I've been that impressed is like God back in the teens. At least like this impressed easily.
Wow.
Yeah.
BT.
Look, it's a hot take from Danny, and I don't disagree. This is the best episode I've seen in such a long time. It's hard to tell.
100 years, Beach. 100 years.
Well, that's the thing, because I kept expecting it to fuck up, and I feel like part of my good feeling is based on that, on the sense of when are they going to drop the ball, and the fact they didn't is amazing. This is one of the ones, my heart's on a gold, my brain is on a silver.
Wow.
Because I feel like there are maybe it could have more jokes, but the fact they never flubbed it, the fact that it is so restrained, and it respects the intelligence of the audience. How many times we complained about that they don't have the faith in their own jokes? We've always said follow your heart guts on this show, and I'm going to follow my heart guts. I'm going to go with the gold. I cannot believe that I'm saying that about a post
season 31 episode.
Right.
But Danny's right. This is easily the best we've seen.
I
for
think
decades.
I'm right. If we looked at the last time we gave a cubic, he's doing it right now, I bet.
Yeah.
The last time I gave a cubic even 100 years ago.
Look,
100 years.
The problem with Cubic is part of it is the idea it's quintessential to the Simpsons experience. It's hard to rate something new as essential.
That's
So
why
it's-
it's so special. That's
that-
why
yeah.
it's a diamond, because it's
I-
in the rough.
I want to believe that, 5 years I'll remember a really good line from this and want to quote that. I don't quite think it's there on the jokes. Is my
I haven't
main...
seen it enough. Like, I've seen
I
every
agree.
thing that I quote 1,000
Yeah,
times.
I completely agree. Nostalgia is something that's impossible to remove from your perspective.
Yeah. So like, until this is nostalgic,
But
I'm
even,
not going
even the watching, what had me on like an intellectual silver is I don't think the quotable moments are quite there. But hey, I would love to be wrong in 5 years and be like, you know what, this one absolutely, on the Simpsons index decks.
Well, there you go. Hit us up, Future Beach. Let us know how it goes.
Yeah.
From what I can tell,
Sorry, he said hit me us up, Future Beach.
Yeah,
and-
you got to leave a space for us to cut that
yeah,
out.
and I didn't arrive. So either I'm dead in the future or I haven't figured out time travel yet. But fingers crossed, I'm alive and teleported.
It's really lose-lose, isn't it?
You want to see me kick through that door with like silver glasses and just yell, "I have better things to do, Daddy!" Hitler's not going to kill himself.
All right.
Beach, this is an audio medium, so you could have just said that happened. In fact, you could have just said, "I'm back from the future. I'm
Great.
Future Beach."
Great mustard.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So, yeah, a cubic hasn't been given to an episode since season 15,
Right?
when Sheridan probably overvalued Simple Simpson a bit.
Yeah.
It's a great
16
episode.
years, 17 years.
About that.
I also feel like Simple Simpson may have been the last high rank I gave anything. I gave that a silver, and that's been my benchmark silver ever since. I know I just gave this a gold, and I'm quite happy with that. So
Yeah.
rise up to meet me, fucking modern Simpsons.
I think this is why it's cubic, though, is because
No,
it's
there's absolutely an argument.
17 years of shit.
Yeah, it's a question of do you rate what is current versus what is like the cream of the crop. It's the cream of the crop for now.
Okay, but let me put it on the other hand.
Yeah,
The oeuvre, the overallness of Simpsons now
yeah.
is
Oh, like-
larger crap than good.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
outweighed by the future.
Oh, that's like part of why this is a gold for me and not a silver, because it's definitely a gold by
Yeah,
this
yeah.
era's standards.
Yeah.
And it's sort of hard to quantify that whole essentialness of it because it's, still relatively new in the
Yeah.
whole
Like,
oeuvre.
As I do with everything, I will relate this to Terminator. Dark Fate is the best Terminator movie since Terminator 2. That doesn't make it a 10 out of 10. That makes it a 7 out of 10, but it's a good movie.
Wow.
But, I mean, I was flirting with a cubic, to be honest, because this was amazing. And also, we haven't given an episode.
Dude, I haven't seen all three of us so hyped about
I know.
anything.
I know.
I'm so glad
I
we
was
walked on here.
expecting
That's
to
a
put on
cubic.
crap tonight.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm so chuffed. Oh, man, it's good times.
Yeah.
Good times.
Like, so there you go. Forget what they rank
Yeah.
it. All three of us were stoked. You guys have to go and check it out.
If only we all went so fucking high.
allegedly. But yeah, the last
On
time
life.
we ranked an episode this high was
Hey,
season 12,
hey.
episode 9, HOMR, which got a dull cubic.
Nice.
The Homer Crayon Brain one,
yeah.
which we reviewed on
12.
episode 1.
Wow. Wow.
20
You know what?
years, man.
Can we honorarily give this the Simpsons Index Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence?
HD edition, yeah,
HD
sure.
edition. Like, it's been so long, and I feel like this does really deserves Carolyn Omni. Hats off. Salute.
Right.
Cheers to
Right.
you.
It's Stoner, beanies off.
Beanies off. Yeah.
Bases unplugged.
We'll tap the bong to the forehead, and if you're on Twitter,
Pour one out for our home. Wait, what?
light one up for our homies. Pew, pew, pew.
Damn it, now I got bong water on the floor, allegedly. All right, well, look, that about does it for this week's edition of the Simpsons Index. What a fun time. It's nice having
it
your fun.
feels so good to be positive.
Yeah. How rare. I
What a
mean,
warm, delicious
I've waited
bath.
20 years for this,
Fucking
right?
A, fucking A.
The podcast we've been doing for 6 years, yet feels like 20.
Oh,
Right.
All right, BT, where can they hear more of us if they want to?
Man, if you're like chilling on those good vibes and you want to hear some trippy ass shit, you can just check out Thrones of Game, which is where Elliot and I review Game of Thrones, but backwards. But if you're like, man, I want to be transported into a different world, then you can check out Pulp Fury Radio. This was our anthology series of all original scripts performed by some amazing actors. We did the Foley work. And if you want to be like in a Twilight Zone-y kind of brain set, this is where you want to go to. Or you know what? If you're feeling like one of them rich folk, you can head to patreon.com/SideQuestStudios and kick us, $5. That's it. $5 a month. You get access to over like 40 exclusive
80.
80. Good fuck. 80 exclusive podcasts.
And counting.
Because, you know, we are dedicated to you. We are doing one a week, rain, hail, or fucking purgatory.
And we were just in here together recording an episode of the story of the chalk.
I mean, I can't sing the next line. We don't have the next line.
We don't have the next line.
But that's the podcast.
Baby Shaver and
Malk.
Talk. Forget how to talk.
Where we riff on the hidden episodes implied by Bart's chalkboard writings.
Yeah.
It's a really
what
fun
happened?
podcast.
How did he get there?
And we try and figure out
Short, fast, loud.
rhymes with chalk as well, apparently.
Here are some words that rhyme with chalk.
No, it's basically fork.
Bulk.
Hulk.
It's true.
Anyway, patreon.com/SideQuest Studios.
Yeah.
But thanks again for tuning in to this. I've been Elliot Jay O'Neill. That's been Daddy Rosewell.
And I love you.
And that's been BT Calloway.
I'm one of the drunk ones. Swish.
You guys will get it one day.
And that's all the mustard in the house.
That's all I was in the house.
Whoa, I had mustard.
Thank you for listening to the Simpsons Index podcast, which is also an online spreadsheet available at thesimpsonsindex.com. You can chat to us online at facebook.com/thesimpsonsindex or at Simpsons Index on Twitter and Instagram. And now please stay tuned for the bonus scenes!
Oh my goodness. I'm just still floored with this one, to be honest.
The fact they didn't fuck it up. Where's the lid of my pen?
Sorry?
The lid of my pen.
You don't need that until the end of the episode.
It's all part of the pen, Danny.
Part of the process.
Naked without it.
All right. We're stopping the episode. It's a bottle episode, ladies and gentlemen.
Close up.
It's all right. I found it.
Take everything off and shake.
Right, this is a Lex Ball 5.50.
There were only 150 of these ever made.
150,000.
Currently available at Officeworks. Any Officeworks. This is
coming to you from SideQuest Studios. This is the Simpsons Index, brought to you by
Tritones.
They're the devil's music.
Like Danny Elfman, he used tritones.
Haha, got it.
Cool tune.
I think you got something. You got a fresh sound. It'll go far in this neighborhood.
Hi, I'm Troy McClure. You might remember me from such failed enterprises.
Hello, cutting room floor.
Sup?
Melted right through the deleted scenes and
And we're back.
basement floor below.
And we're